Intimacy, love, dating, marriage, romance, companionship, and breakup. Everything is on the table. It's Relationship Theory with Tina Laws.
Welcome to Relationship Theory, where we talk about all things relationships. There is no topic off the table. Today you'll be hosted by me, Tina Laws, and we'll be joined in studio by the amazing Kama Simmons.
Hello.
And Mr. Darius Richardson. And today we'll be talking about how to recognize dysfunctional relationships. And so we're going to turn it over to Mr. Darius Richardson. I'm going to give you the floor. In some instances, we allow the women to go first, but in this instance, I'll give it to you.
All right. Good day, everybody. First of all, I'm Darius Richardson. I serve in many capacities in the community, and one special for today is domestic violence. I do run a male support group at Heart Chapel every Tuesday at 5:30. Been involved in domestic violence and certification since 2004, since I've actually got seek help for myself, and then I became certified in 2006 onwards. So today we're talking about the red flags, and we have a list going on that I have in the back of my head somewhere is going to come forward, and to relax and get ready. One of the red flags that we can recognize early in a relationship is anger. People disguise anger in different ways. We have anger where you see somebody go to a grocery store and they'll get mad at the cashier. Mm-hmm. They have road rage. They're looking at angry, violent movies and all that stuff. And everything that happens, they'll say, "Oh, I should do this. I should do that. I should slap this person. I should punch that person." And you're sitting right there and you're cool. Yeah. And you're saying, "Oh, that person's standing up in the community. They're on Facebook. They're at everybody. They're letting them know where to get off. They're telling this and telling that." But wait a minute. When you step out of line or do something that they don't like, that anger comes towards you. That's a red flag. That's one of many ways. Yes. And you said something about the dysfunctional relationships. A lot of dysfunctional relationships look functional. Mm-hmm. They look normal on the outside, but on the inside, they're not really normal. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if things look good, things look great, but on the inside and behind clear as doors, it's not a functional relationship. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'll let this young lady talk.
So yeah, we're gonna what we want to do is let sweetie pie Miss Kama. Not that she's this person. But we want to let Miss Kama just give her view on red flags firstly, yes, before we go any further. Okay. What are some of the red flags that you would want other women to look out for?
Gosh, there were so many in my case, but the first was just very petty arguments over like just little things. Just feeling like I couldn't express myself because it would piss that person off. Mm-hmm. So I just found myself being very closed in. And then they would complain that I wouldn't communicate, but I was just like, so what am I supposed to do? So I just felt like I was walking on eggshells a lot. Mm-hmm. But I ignored it because to me it was like, okay, it's me. Mm-hmm. So I always looked at everything as it being my fault. So I needed to get myself in check. Yes. Because it was always a problem with me. So it was very stressful.
And so one of the red flags that I hear you saying is that when someone takes you to a place of you don't know yourself anymore, and someone puts you in an uncomfortable, compromising position where you're no longer a comma, but you're trying to be whoever this person wants you to be.
I felt like a stranger in my own house.
Yes.
Let's say that. It was like I would walk into the house and I didn't even know who I was. Yeah. So it was always just like, you need to do this and you're not doing this. And I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah. So I was seeking therapy to fix what was wrong. And the therapists are looking at me like, what? What's going on? And because it was so much ingrained in my head that I was the problem, that's how I lived my life for 11 years. Yes. That I was the problem. I need to fix myself. But I didn't know what to do because I really didn't have a problem. It was that person that had the problem. So
And so one of the things that happen most often in dysfunctional, unhealthy domestic violence relationships is that, as a rare flag, is as women, we have to know as well that whenever we start finding ourselves in a position of having to change who we are or walking on eggshells so that we can minimize somebody else's anger or frustration, that's a major red flag. And so, that's a major red flag. And a lot of times we overlook them because we are in love. So we think, we are committed, or we have a family, or we have a mortgage, or we have all those things that go with it. So some of the things that I think people need to be aware of is that we need to act on these red flags, because we all have them. We all get those red flags, and it's that intuition, that innate feeling that allows us to say something's just not right.
Right. From a male's point of view, sometimes you date somebody a woman that wants to educate you or bring you up in society, whatnot, and they correct in everything you say, everything you do. You're not washing dishes fast enough. Oh, why did you say that to that person? And why did you this? And you need to dress this way. You need to think this way. You're not doing the housework fast enough. Like, nothing is good enough. And you feel like, when am I gonna win? It's like, I'm pleasing that person. You find, I think you kind of said it. You find yourself thinking every day, what can I do? What can I not do to upset that person? Because you do everything right, and then they'll pick something else. And you know what I mean? You're like, well, you run to the left, you do everything right. And then but it's impossible to please somebody who is narcissistic. Maybe that's one of the
and a sociopath.
And so, and that,
I'm just gonna say it.
There are so many terms that we can use, but what we're gonna realize is that although we know the terms, a lot of people don't know the terms, and they look on the internet. Everybody's on the internet. Everybody can tell you what everything is and means and stuff. But I think it's important that we break it down and let everybody know what they look like what these things look like. And so, for me, my thought is that, although we go into these relationships and we see these red flags, what are some of the things that what are some of the things that you can say that you overlooked, like from a dating stage? Let's go back to the dating stage.
Great. Mostly if we were out in public and I didn't introduce them to somebody, it would be like, well, why you didn't introduce me to that person? And I'm like, I don't know, sorry. So it started off like little things like that. If I dressed a little too provocatively for his, like, why you gotta dress like that? You're looking for attention. I'm like, no, this is how I dress. I'm getting out, I'm with you. But it was just little things and just arguing about silly things, and I'm very just like, I will shut right down. So when you start wanting to argue, I'm just like, I'm not doing that. So it was always like, oh, you don't have nothing to say, no. And so it was kind of that. Because it was a lot. Tough. It was a lot.
And so on that note, we're going to take a break, and you don't want to miss what we're coming back with. Talk soon.
Relationship Theory. We'll be right back after these messages.